having a reason to come to the gym and work out gives people a purpose and a meaning to get themselves out of bed. I can tell you just through our experience, and obviously this anecdotal, I don't have any stats or data on this. I can just tell you about just the young people that we've encountered with who were dealing with such a tough thing. And when you gave them a reason, when you gave them a purpose for them to come to a place, to set their alarm clock, and you allowed them to discover that on their own, and you didn't come from a place of trying to save them as much as you understand why anybody, when you notice like someone's going through something, you want to grab them and hold them close and take care of them and see what you can do, because you don't want them to meet, a terrible end that many have concluded with. But you often, find, especially with young kids who are super resilient, when you give them direction, when you give them discipline, and I mean discipline in a way of like, hey, the things that you're going through, how you're dealing with them, how you're showing it to the world. The world is not going to accept it. They may or may not, but especially for like the youngsters when they graduate high school and now the world sees them as an adult. And this goes for young boys, young girls, young women, young men. And you take that thing outside, and now it hurts your opportunity, it hurts your chances, it hurts your relationships, it hurts your ability to move forward and move forward in things in life and become a productive member of society. And you're dealing with these things, and now because you're of this age, a lot of people, a lot of things don't want to listen to like what's going on with you. So if it could be something as small as just gym and working out that can help you pull yourself from that and give yourself the responsibility and give yourself the courage to take on these things by, you're in control. Like the control piece, especially, I mean, in young people, when you allow them to find that, when you allow them to discover those things, and they discover those things through their mistakes that they can make in here. And it could be something as simple as learning boxing, doing push-ups, doing pull-ups, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's something that's small, and it doesn't have to be this big massive. I have to go to a doctor. Obviously, if you can get there when it gets to that place, that's great. But if you can't find that resource, maybe, and we can speak to it, like what young kids have been able to turn their behavior around and turn their attitude around and go from, poor grades in school, and those poor grades coming from not emotionally and mentally feeling well because they don't feel emotionally well about themselves, then giving them purpose and courage in here by letting them find their own space and them be so excited that they found their own space, that they found their own courage to put themselves forward and do something really good for themselves. And that's why I think the significance of still speaking on this is good, because you don't want to say, hey, this thing is bigger than us, when it's not, because we can't ignore the things that we see as that we see as gym owners, myself and the legal, what we see when people come to the door and the things that people are dealing with. And, something as small as, running or just being in here and just working on their physical self, and how that leads to them feeling better about themselves mentally and emotionally, giving them the control back and not coming from this place, oh, I have to save you. They are allowed to save themselves, and to take that away from someone, and not in a bad way, but because you want to help, can potentially hurt them. But if you allow them to find their space and give them time and patience, and the big thing, and I think people really just don't give it enough credit, encouragement. Encouragement goes such a long way for people, and so many people are in need of just encouragement, of just, hey, you're doing a good thing. You're trying to take this thing on. You're trying to find your control. You're trying to find yourself in this whole thing. If you're going through a bad spot, and get yourself to a brighter spot. The encouragement you can give with people of just keeping yourself available and being available to hear them, see them, give them the space. Luckily, we're at a different position because we, being owners of the gym, are allowed to have this space for people to express themselves and express it in a way that's healthy, that's going to benefit them. And what we can say truly that has been a benefit for people, both who are in a bad spot and getting themselves out, and people who are just in a great spot as well, but to highlight people, young boys, young girls, young men, young women, and be able to find them space, themselves in this, has been truly significant. And I hope that people, when they find themselves in those positions, if they can gather themselves somehow and give themselves the courage to get back up and try and give themselves patience and move forward slowly. And something as slowly as physically taking care of yourself might be the answer to giving yourself some brighter days.